presentation shared, and then get out of Zoom. All right. So you wouldn't want to give somebody you hardly know your bank account and then have to pay them 300% or more in interest after taking out a loan, would you? Hello, my name is Anisha, and today I will be talking about why payday loans are detrimental to society. This is a glossary I made. I took definitions from Google, but they had multiple definitions, so I combined both of them together to make it easier to understand. And I'll go. So payday loans and payday lenders, what are they? Well, it's lent money ranging from $500 or less at a high interest rate from a payday company on the agreement that it will be repaid during the time the borrower receives their next paycheck, which is normally 14 days. Predatory lending is an organization or lender that offers an unfair, deceptive, or fraudulent loan to borrowers that can't be paid back in a timely manner. Redlining is the practice of denying credit, loans, and insurance to our particular neighborhood and neighborhoods on a discriminatory basis. And then reverse redlining is the practice of targeting these same communities for predatory lending. And then in the image at the top, that's a protest from housing activists who want to stop these foreclosures from happening, which is an auction of your house because you weren't able to pay off your loan or your debt to a certain loan company. And why everything fits together is that predatory lending is the practice of unethical lending, where an institution lends money to people who don't need it or can't afford it. Payday lending is a form of predatory lending where loans are made in advance of a person being paid, often to people who won't be able to pay the loan back in a timely manner. And then unlike redlining, where people are refused loans unfairly, reverse redlining targets those same minority people by giving unfair loans, often trapping them in a cycle of debt and having to have them foreclose their houses. Now, here's my first reason why payday lenders are detrimental to society, and that is that payday lenders are a debt trap. This is the map of the United States, and according to Megan Leonhardt of CNBC Make It, payday lenders' interest rates are 300% to 700% in most states. And in Wisconsin, like right here, you could see that it's 600 interest rate if we were to take out a loan here. And that is an excessive amount of money compared to personal loans that are 4% to 36% in interest rates. So it's my first map. And then this is a chart of payday lenders' average percentage rates being roughly around 400%. And this is more of like a process from every city. So if I were to example Miami, take out a loan that's $500 and the finance or the loaning company charges me $55, and then the annual percentage rate is 286.78 annual percentage rate, that combines together to make the loan repayment $555. And this would assume that you don't roll over your loan or incur additional fees or interest. And if you couldn't pay off the loan, they can just take the money directly from your bank account, and it's hard to pay off your loan when you don't have when you keep getting interest added to your paycheck every time you get your paycheck. And then payday lenders are the new version of reverse redlining. And this is my second reason. So according to Claire Williams of Morning Consult, Black adults are more than 2 times likelier to live within a mile of a payday lender shop than white adults. So Black adults less than a mile would be 11%, and white adults would be 5% less than a mile to a payday lender shop. And then here's a map of Wisconsin and the redlining. Well, I'll get a bit later, but many minorities were bunched up close together in one spot, mostly being located in what was called hazardous areas. This map shows the races and ethnicities that are in the locations that are stated on the map. And if you can't see like dark blue, it's over here and a little bit up here. But this is normally like where everybody lived in 2018. Now, in this graph, we can see that the HOLC examiner's grade is kind of being compared to the other one that's hazardous and declining. But what this is known as, or what it was used for, was for getting loans at the bank. And if you had a declining house or housing, or a hazardous house, you're more likely to not get a loan or no loan at all. And this was in 1938. So redlining reduced these opportunities for general wealth to accumulate among minority populations. And this just causes an even bigger wealth gap between communities. So I have a side-to-side comparison because I thought it'd be nice to put it together, and you can really see where the hazardous areas and the declining areas meet up in today, where it's like everybody's living right now. And in the Center of Responsible Lending, I have a quote that says over 40% of borrowers believe their payday loan rates were less than 30% annual percentage rate, which is not much more than a credit card rate. Well, they were very much deceived because the annual percentage rate is 300 to like 700 in payday loans. And then here's a family getting dripped off of their money. They don't have any money, and they're seeking for a loan, and that's all they can really do. But there's this is my third reason why payday loans are detrimental to society. And it's 4 out of 50 states have protection/regulations for payday loans. So the blue states have loan debt traps. The orange states restrict these payday loans, which means you can't buy or get a payday loan in that state. And then the yellow states protect you from getting in the payday loan debt trap. Okay. And that's not a lot of states that are really helping you get out of that loophole or that cycle of debt. So I have two more quotes from Megan Leonhardt, and it says nearly 1 in 4 payday loans are reborrowed 9 times or more. And so the payday loan regulation system is messed up if you have to buy or reborrow the loan 9 times. That's crazy. And there are approximately 23,000 payday lenders, almost twice the number of McDonald's restaurants. So even though there are 23,000 payday lenders, and most states are still debt traps, and the Trump administration also decided to roll back payday loan protections in the last 2 years as well. And now we're on to the counterclaim. So payday loans are actually good, and payday lenders help people get access to loans easier. And in this chart, Prosperity Now says that most borrowers use payday loans for utility bills, gas, credit cards, mortgage, rent, food, and other reoccurring expenses. They are easier to get the payday loans because there's fewer requirements compared to a bank that wants to look for good credit and have more information about you. And then my counterclaim to this counter is that payday loans will hurt your credit score. And from In Charge Debt Solutions, a good credit score can save you thousands of dollars when trying to get mortgages, insurance, credit cards, and auto loans. So the problem that payday loans cause is that they don't report to credit bureaus when you have good credit, but they will report to credit bureaus when you're in debt and will bring bad credit to you, which makes it harder for you to get other kinds of loans, and eventually payday loans will be the only loan you can have access to. So here's another quote. This one's from my teacher, Mr. Perez, and it says, "My mom used payday loans quite a bit. They ravaged her credit." And here's my conclusion. It's more of a recap right now of everything that I just said, since I know I'm talking really quickly. But payday loans have debt trapping interest rates from 300% to 700%. Personal loans have a 4% to 36% interest rate. Payday lenders exploit low income, majority minorities. Payday lenders increase the race, ethnicity, wealth gap. Payday loan protections / regulations are decreased. Payday loans in almost every state is a debt trap. Payday lenders take money directly from your bank account. Payday lenders will hurt your credit score. Payday lenders don't report to credit bureaus on good credit. Good credit saves you thousands of dollars, and bad credit takes months and years to build back up. So, are you thinking about your future? Thinking about keeping your money safe? Well, then don't get a payday loan. Thank you. If there's anything or any questions, I can go back to this slide. As well as this topic started from me wanting to know more about redlining and where it is today. And this is the presentation that came out of it as well.
Yes, thank you very much, Anisha, for the presentation and for putting all that together. Does anybody in the room have questions or comments for Anisha on her presentation or on the content of the presentation?
Hey, Anisha.
Hello.
This is Dave Schultz. How are you doing?
I'm good.
Good. I liked your presentation. I'd sent you an email that this was a topic that's near and dear to my heart. Since I'm in the finance area, I have always looked at payday lending, and we frequently have arguments about its pros and cons. I thought the fact that you went into the project with a mindset of presenting both sides was helpful, because there are two different sides to it. So I think that was a neat way to approach it. And I appreciate you explaining a little bit on how you came to this particular topic. As you were thinking about redlining, did you look at other aspects beyond payday lending and rule those out?
Yes, I did. I was mostly searching for redlining articles. And apparently we couldn't, like me and Mr. Sassfeld, my teacher, we couldn't find anything that was related to what's happening today, and that was mostly what the seminar was about, connecting problems that are happening today and arguing like, is it relevant? Do we need to worry about this? And so I slowly progressed from redlining to reverse redlining to predatory lending, and then I got somewhere towards payday loans.
Okay, neat. Maybe last question for me. In the states that have enacted restrictions to help protect consumers, did you learn about any particular restrictions that were helpful that you think states like Wisconsin and other states that don't have restrictions on this type of predatory lending could utilize?
No, I only knew or know about which states chose to use regulations or restrictions for this, for payday loans. I couldn't find any articles on that. It was very hard to find articles. Even Mr. Sassfeld could tell you because he was searching with me.
Yeah. And one of the ways that I think some states have had an impact, and you may want to look at a little bit, is through the use of usury laws that restrict the amount of interest and fees you can charge for borrowing of funds. And states like Wisconsin have provided an exemption for payday lenders so that they're not subject to usury laws. But that is probably one of the quickest ways to restrict the negative aspect of payday lending, is by reducing how much money they make by doing the loans. The problem is, and there's a counter to everything, is that many of the payday lenders, if they couldn't make their money, would not have their stores anymore. And folks that needed to get the loans that couldn't receive loans through conventional bank lending or otherwise would not have access to that type of lending and the funds that they might need to buy groceries, pay their rent, pay utilities and the like. So might be a topic that you want to take a look at, is usury, and how that might be a way to try to control without completely destroying payday lending, or at least the concept of providing short-term financing to people. Thank you very much. I thought it was a great presentation.
I can also send everyone the slides if they'd like it. Thank you too.
I would like the slides if you don't mind, if that's possible. Thank you. Great job.
All right. And do we have any other questions or comments for Anisha on her presentation?
I loved the use of data and statistics to back up the arguments. I think that was supremely well done. And it made my heart happy to see more of that. So I appreciate you for that.
Anisha, hi, it's Julia. I just wanted to say hats off to you for doing an amazing presentation. I also, echo the comments that have been made, but in particular, I've seen the, development of your work from, what you did in the Find It, Fix It seminar to this one. And I think in both cases, what I saw was you did a great job with the actual visuals related to it. So you have an eye for being able to represent ideas, in graphic form that is very compelling. So I really, I love the layout and the, the template, the slide template you used here, as well as the one that you chose for the Find It, Fix It seminar. So great work.
Oh, thank you. I love picking out slides. They're so fun.
Well, it makes a big difference, really. It's got to be visually appealing, if as well as compelling, in terms of the content. So you combine those things well. Great job.
Anisha, I just wanted to say, it's been a pleasure to watch your presentation skills and your public speaking skills just continue to grow. You were one of the first students that was grilling me during the application process, the interview process when I catered pathways. So I love just to see how you've just continued to develop those skills and get better and better with each presentation I've seen. So keep it up. You're doing awesome.
Thank you again.